Let me ask you a question. Are you interested in learning how to be a more effective leader? Do you want to know how to change people's attitudes and behaviors without offending them or arousing resentment? Well, stay tuned. Don't move, because in this video, we're about to discuss concepts from one of the best books on leadership and influence ever written. I'm talking about How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Part 4. Be a leader. How to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. Let's get right into it. Principle 1. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. Oftentimes, constructive criticism is necessary to change the behavior of those we lead. However, before providing feedback, remember this. It's much easier to accept criticism of our shortcomings after we have received praise for our strengths. Thus, to alter the behavior of those people you lead, first uncover their strengths and praise them for those strengths. Let the person know you appreciate them. Then, once they feel they have your confidence, they will readily accept and incorporate your constructive criticism. Principle 2. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. If you call attention to a person's mistakes directly, you're likely to offend. However, if you call attention to a person's mistakes indirectly, you're likely to get the results you're looking for. Let's say you own a restaurant. Here's how you might call attention to an employee's mistakes directly, the ineffective way. Listen, John, you did a great job this week interacting with the customers, but you forgot to clean up your tables after your shifts. Now, what's the problem here? That's right, the nasty three-letter word that nullifies all the good praise you bestowed upon your employee, John. B-U-T. Here's how a good leader might call attention to the same issue, but more effectively. Listen, John, you did a great job this week interacting with the customers. And if you can remember to clean up your tables after your shifts, you'll be one of the best servers in this restaurant. Can you see the difference? Words are powerful. Arranged one way, the very same words are useless. Arranged another way, and you get the results you're looking for. Let's move on to Principle 3. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. It's much easier to listen to someone talk about your faults after that person humbly admits that he or she is far from perfect. Thus, before you call attention to a person's mistakes, remember that you, yes, you, are flawed. Let that person know that you know you're imperfect. Openly admit to your past mistakes, and the person will gladly accept your constructive criticism. Principle 4. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. People are much more likely to accept orders if they feel they've had a part in the decision-making process. In this way, orders phrased as questions are much more likely to achieve the desired result than a direct order. For example, an ineffective leader might say some of the following: do this, do that, don't do this, or don't do that. While, on the other hand, an effective leader would rephrase the order in a more persuasive form, like, do you think this would work? You might consider doing that. What do you think of this? Or, what would happen if we tried that? Asking questions is not only more persuasive, but it also stimulates creativity in the group as people search their minds for answers. Principle 5. Let the other person save face. The effect your words have on another person, whether your words are criticism or praise, will be amplified when you speak those words in the presence of other people. This effect is amplified even further when the audience is comprised of people whom the person you are criticizing or praising respects. Thus, be mindful of the surrounding audience, especially when you're tempted to criticize someone. Praise people publicly, but be very careful not to criticize someone in front of others. Principle 6. praise the slightest improvement, and praise every improvement. B.F. Skinner, the father of operant conditioning, taught us that the way to train a creature is to reinforce every improvement, no matter how slight. Animal trainers apply this technique, reinforcing every approximation toward the ultimate goal. As a result, they can train animals to do the most amazing things. Now, why wouldn't we apply the same principles when dealing with other people? Praise the people you lead for each improvement they make, no matter how slight, and your people will accomplish incredible things. Principle 7. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. A reputation must start at some point. Just because a person hasn't yet attained a reputation for a given quality or trait doesn't mean you can't give that person this same reputation. When you give a person a reputation to live up to, they'll do whatever it takes not to lose that reputation. This plays into the psychological phenomenon that the pain of loss is much more severe than the joy of gain. In other words, we all hate to lose something we have. So, for example, what if you told your employee something like this? John, everyone in this company knows you are a fantastic leader, a person who gets things done, and we're counting on you to get us the results we need this month. Now, do you think this approach would be effective? Don't you think John would fight to maintain this new reputation? The answer is, of course. Let's move on to Principle 8. Use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. When you tell someone that he or she is terrible at something, that person will likely prove you right. But guess what? If you tell that same person that he or she has a natural talent for the exact same thing, that person will likely prove you right. So, what's the lesson here? If you want someone to succeed at a thing, be liberal with your encouragement and do what you can to make the thing seem easy. Let the person know that you believe in him or her. Do this, and the person will put in the work it takes to prove you right. Let's move on to the final principle. Principle 9. Make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. To apply this principle, you must first apply some empathy and determine what the other person really wants. Let's say you have a coffee shop employee that is hungry for respect or to be appreciated at work. Also, let's assume that the milk bar is consistently unkept and disorganized by the end of the day. You might give your employee a title and a badge or a hat to signify this new title. For example, you might appoint the employee to be the milk bar supervisor and give the person a hat or a badge to go with the title. Although the title is essentially meaningless and comes with no extra tangible benefits, it would likely inspire the employee to ensure that the milk bar is always tidy. What's the result? A happy employee that feels appreciated and a tidy milk bar that makes the customers happy. If your customers are happy, you make more money. In other words, everybody wins. The big point here is this. A trivial trinket, toy, or title may make a tremendous difference in the performance of those you're trying to lead. Does it seem a bit childish? Perhaps. However, when Napoleon was criticized for giving toys and trinkets to veterans in his army, he famously stated, "Men are ruled by toys." Napoleon understood the power of symbol, and now you can use this same power to your advantage. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you really liked it, please smash like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time on Mentally Fit.